The other day, the CS Ngilu announced a number of names, individuals believed to be behind the Langata land grab. Across the board, there seems to have been, skepticism over whether these are really the individuals behind the same. Do you share in that, or do you believe this largely the same? We had quite a number of.
Do you remember what the Minister Ngilu said before she dropped those names? She said she was going to give the name behind the names.
Yes.
And
it was reported that.
Yes, she was reported to have said that, and I have reason to believe she said it. Then she gave the names. Now we're waiting for the name behind the names, which she hasn't given.
So do you think there's another name?
I'm sure there is. Definitely there is. And we know who it is. We have simply exercised restraint in not saying who it is, but we know who it is.
But is it because you don't have evidence to prove? Because remember, on the Karen land issue, your part of your membership went ahead and named an individual and then was sued and appeared not to have evidence.
Well, I was not part of
you are not part
team,
of
but it was my code team.
Yes.
And they have definitely facts to defend themselves successfully in court, and I'm sure they will.
So you're
in this particular case, you know very well that there is a hotel next to the school playground. We know who owns the hotel. There's some impositor who has come forward claiming that he owns the hotel. We know he doesn't. We know who owns the hotel. And we know how the hotel land was acquired. In fact, there is a big question on how that hotel land was acquired, and it's before a parliamentary committee. So rules of parliament may not permit me to discuss that matter beyond what I've said, but there is a matter before a committee of parliament questioning how the parcel of land on which the hotel stands was acquired. And we have been told that...
So if you know,
yes,
why are you not coming forward with this information? Because some other people claim to know that it's clear, but everyone is just knowing, and then the situation in life is seemingly going on.
This information is in public domain. There are clips of videos doing the rounds showing, for example, the deputy president inspecting the construction of the hotel and showing how it should be done.
He'd argue he was doing it at a friend's land.
Whose friend? Let him say so.
The man who's come out to say he owns
We know that man, and we know he doesn't own the hotel.
So now that you know that, where is that evidence? Why don't you give that to the members of the public who do not have that advantage?
I am not litigating on any matter.
Okay.
I am speaking
But you are politicians.
I'm speaking
elected by Kenyans.
A position of public interest. When I speak from a position of public interest, I bring information and put it at the disposal of the public.
But when it's not backed up, then it doesn't help.
And the public will pick it up and use it or disregard it. As to this matter of the land along Langata Road, as a leader in this country, in CORD and my party and in the Senate, I do not have the legal instruments to revoke a land title. Those are vested elsewhere in the National Land Commission.
But you could, as you claim to have evidence, you could submit the same to these bodies that then are charged with that kind of responsibility.
You do not say and submit what is obvious. The Minister for Lands knows this.
Obvious to you,
the National
but not
Land
obvious
Commissioner
to the
knows this.
Okay.
The school at Langata, even little kids, that's why they brought down that wall. They knew that a land grabber was on the prowl against their playground. That's why they rose.
But isn't that simply politicizing matters, Senator, before we move on? Because when you say everybody knows this, it is just becomes part of dialogue that everybody will have. But at the end of the day, then nothing is done because people will talk about it and move on. But if you surely have information or this evidence to prove otherwise, why not bring it forward in the interest of this public that you say you are representing?
We live in a political setup. Whether a matter is said by a politician or a non-politician, there is always this conclusion that we are politicizing the matter. In fact, we are not politicizing anything, we are being factual. One, we've said it's immoral to take away a playing ground from school children. Number two, it is immoral for people to distinguish themselves as land grabbers and be on the prowl everywhere, scouting for any empty land. Three, we are saying there is some degree of unacceptable incompetence in the management of our land system, both at NLC and the ministry, where, for example, I can tell you, if you see a minister for lands going to climb, a lady going to climb over a wall to demonstrate that she's working, then something is wrong somewhere. Because a minister is supposed to sit, design and execute policy and have people working under her or him to do the job. But when you see a lady being helped to climb over a wall, ostensible to demonstrate to the public that she's working to recover stolen land, it flies in the face of reason.
Do you think there's political will to deal with the mess in land in Kenya?
There is no political will. I don't see it, and I don't think anybody is interested in solving many of these land problems.
So
for example,
yes,
when Swazuri said that he had renewed the 30,000 acres of land for the president's family, and went on to justify how small it was, one would have expected a conscious president to come forward and comment about it, because he knows how contentious this matter is. He's kept a studious silence on the matter. He won't say, he won't see, he won't do. And we know he will not because of vested interests. We can count many examples all over where land issues are so contentious. People have been killed, people have been maimed, people have been dispossessed, and we continue behaving as if it's business as usual.
It definitely is an emotive issue in this country.